Welcome to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast. One of the biggest names we've had on, actually. We're really excited to have you on. We know you won Baby Giro in, I think, 2018. You came to the Giro this year and it didn't work out for whatever reason, the sickness, etc. But you won Giro dell'Emilia, a one-day race. I think the first question is, do you see yourself as a one-day racer who tries with the stage races, etc., like maybe Jakob Fuglsang does? Or are you Grand Tour in the future? Is Grand Tour is your main goal?
So I prefer stage races, and also my goal in the future is to win a Grand Tour or be on the podium. It will be very, very nice for me. But also, sometimes, the one-day races it depend. Sometimes I can go well, sometimes not. Because before the Giro d'Emilia, I do also Lombardia, Grand Piemonte. So it was a block of races. When the maybe first Grand Piemonte, it was hard for me. But after Lombardia and Emilia, I feel very good. So I need to some days to do fast before the race, which I want to win. So for this reason, I prefer stage races because some first stage to start my engine.
To get to build into the race.
So to build to get a rhythm, and then to go full gas and try to win.
And what sort of climbs suit you? I know we saw in the Giro d'Italia, Rowan Dennis. I'm not sure, you're in the Vuelta, so maybe you haven't been able to watch so much of the Giro. But we saw Dennis on Stelvio. It's like steady 6% average gradient for 20 kilometers, 6%. He did well on those sort of climbs. But then in the Vuelta you're in now, it's been irregular gradients, like it's been like 10%, 5%, and then it's sort of then Roglic, Dan Martin, like the Liège, Flèche Wallonne style riders punching in that last kilometre. What suits you more? I know you won Emilia, beating Almeida there, but what do you prefer? I know you won Mont Ventoux Challenge, which is the longer style. Do you have a preference between those two, the short punch or the longer ones?
No, I prefer long climbs, long regular climbs. If you see Mont Ventoux, it's a long climb, and I go on my regular rhythm. And the final kilometers I do very fast, but regular. But also, yes, I can do. Sometimes I like hard climbs, short and hard, because I'm light, and also I can do some difference in the short and hard hills.
Coming into the Vuelta, I mean, in the Giro, I know you were unwell. Was that just a 24-hour, like a stomach bug thing that eventually passed? Because then you're obviously able to start the Vuelta a couple of weeks afterwards.
On the Giro, I feel very, very bad with stomach problems. But also after maybe 5 days, when I was at home, I feel not very good. And then I tried to go out for trainings. My feelings was bad. But my team says that take it easy, and we will try to do Vuelta. It's 3 weeks of races, maybe of racing. Maybe the first week will be hard for me, but then we hope I will feel me better. And yes, it's happened like they said. The first stage for me was very hard, but day by day I feel me better. So now my shape is not so bad.
And I saw you attacking actually on that, Dan. I saw you maybe struggling a bit on the first couple of stages, and then the stage that Dan Martin won, you actually got a decent gap when you attacked, and I thought, Vlasov must be feeling better on that stage. And then now that let's first talk about yesterday's stage, because that just looked so shit, that weather and the cold. Yeah. What was it like? Because the cameras couldn't even cover it. What was happening on that last climb, which on paper didn't look that hard, like 5% average gradient, but was the weather just so rough?
Yeah. On the paper, it's not a hard stage, but in the really, it was hard because it was cold and rainy. Also for me, it's not the best weather with not the best weather, because with cold I am not go very well. And in the last downhill, I was frozen. And when we start the final climb, I was behind, and my teammates wait for me. When we come back, I was all in before the start of the real climb, and it was a hard day for me. But it was hard because it was very, very cold.
But that's strange, because I was looking up. You're from Viborg, or like near in Russia, obviously. Is that where you're from, like near the Finland border?
Yes, I'm coming from Viborg. It's near Finland. Yes, it is. In my city, always bad weather, but I don't like it. I prefer hot.
So
I
you're
prefer summer, hot weather. For me, much better to race when it's 35 degrees.
I agree with you. I'm obviously living in Australia. If it gets under 25 degrees, it's too cold to train outside here. So I agree with you there. But so now that you're a little bit behind on GC, what's the goal now for the next week? Is it to maybe lose a little bit more time on purpose so you can get in the breakaway, or maybe see how you go until the next rest day and maybe move up back into the top 10?
Hey, it is my first Grand Tour, so I don't know what to expect on the third week, and now I just do it's a new experience for me. So with 6 minutes in the general classifications that I lose, I'm more free. Also, I can go in some breakaways. It's possible, but also I will try to arrive always near with the guys who jog the general classification. And maybe if I do very well all these 2 weeks that we need to race, maybe I can come back in the top 10 on the GC. We will see, but of course I will try to get some good breakaway to recover some seconds, some minutes. I don't know.
Yes, I agree, because this Vuelta we saw yesterday, Jumbo-Visma are not as strong on the flat as they were in the Tour de France. They don't have Tony Martin. They don't have Grundle Janssen. So
It's difficult to close every breakaway every day.
So if you get in the break, it's kind of like what Quintana or Landa did in the Tour de France. You get in the break, you can actually Quintana gained like 8 minutes back or 6 minutes or something whilst getting in the break and also going for stage wins. So yeah, I think stage 8, has like a mountaintop finish. And I think I was looking back, I thought if you got in a break there, it'd be pretty difficult to beat you there. Or even if you're in the GC group and you're 6 minutes back, like when they closed you down on that stage that Martin won, were you surprised they closed you down when you attacked? Because you'd also lost some time already by then.
On this day, I feel pretty good, but I was in front, and I just try to attack just to feel to get this feeling how I will see when I do some attacks, and after what will be my feeling. Yeah, it was just a test for me to try to attack, and then look how other riders react on this.
So maybe people that didn't know about you previously, your progression from maybe 2016, 17, 18, 19 to 2020, it's been quite like better each year, the results. And then you sort of did really well in Sibiu Tour, I think, and behind Sosa, and then did well in maybe Giro. What's been the biggest difference between now? This is your first year of World Tour, I think, and you're on Gazprom in 2019. What's been the biggest difference between 2019 Vlasov and now this year? Is it just an improvement in watts? Is it endurance? Is it just better race experience or efficiency? Like, what has been the biggest difference?
Yeah, it's a race experience, and also now I have a strong team which can help me very, very well. They always with me. We're always on the good position, and it's much easier to race. Yeah, I spend less energy during the stage because my teammates always help me. So with a strong team, it's much easier.
Yeah, I think when I spoke to Jack Haig on Mitchelton Scott, he said he could see in his power files the race where he was like the leader and the race where he was not the leader. He could see just throughout the stage the difference in power, like the normalized power, just from even on easier stages when you're the protected leader. So yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But it's not been like a
All day I stay on the wheels, and also of course I can do the final climb very very good watts because I save energy before.
So going into I know you're in the Vuelta, so you probably haven't thought about it yet, but going into this off season, which is going to be really weird because you're going to be in the off season starting in November, really late. What will be the things you'll be focusing on most? Will it be getting in the wind tunnel for TT? We've seen how important that is. Will it be anaerobic efforts at the end of a climb? Like, what will be the things you think you'll focus on in this off season?
Yeah, first 2 weeks I think I will I will rest completely without bike, without my head will be free. And after, yeah, I think I hope I will go to the wind tunnel because if I want to do well grand tours and also some 1 week stage races, I need to improve my time trial, and for this I need to be perfect, to be in the perfect position on my TT bike. And yeah, and also after that I will start some trainings, aerobic trainings.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, people seem to now realize, everyone realizes TT is just so important, and especially with Tour de France next year has like 100 kilometers or something, 80 kilometers of TT. Not that you might necessarily do the Tour de France, but yeah, TT is just so important. We saw obviously Jai Hindley lost the Giro
Yeah.
solely on his TT. But going back to earlier this year, was there any race where this year where you realized, oh shit, this is it, I'm really now at the like top level, I'm one of the big guys now, or I'm really capable of winning the big races? Was it Mont Ventoux? Was it before then? Was it Lombardia or Emilia? Which race stood out to you the most where you were like, I am now really up there with the big guys?
Yeah, from the start of the season, in my first race, Tour de la Provence, I was second in the GC behind Nairo Quintana. So, and I thought that, oh, really, I can fight with the best riders. And after was a long period without races, and then when we restart with the first race to La Road d'Occitanie, I was third in the GC, and I thought that yes, I'm really strong, and I can fight with Bernal, with Sivakov, and Pinot, with other riders who was on the podium on the Grand Tours. And I thought that also I can one day I can become a really strong and good rider for the Grand Tour podium.
Yeah, I remember I did a video on that Quintana Ventoux stage, and his numbers, like his watts, were crazy. Like he did really good numbers that day, and I think you, Lutsenko, and Carthy came in maybe a minute behind, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's still really good numbers what you guys did.
Yeah.
Because Quintana was flying. Yeah, that was a crazy day. And then all you guys go into lockdown, or not maybe not lockdown, but races stop. Where did you set up, or where were you during lockdown? Did you go back home, or is your home in Italy, Spain, or France somewhere?
No, I was in Russia in my home. It was a nice month for me because I'm always in Europe and on training camps or races, and it was a nice time for me because I was with my family.
Some riders reacted differently to it. It seemed like Geraint Thomas, he didn't train as much, and then there was I think Halverson, or maybe the Norwegian guy who was on EF, didn't train as much. Did you expect racing to come back this year? And like, how difficult did you find training with no predefined, no goals or no races on the calendar after that when you
No,
got sent
I
home?
just try to keep my shape with with some aerobic trainings and also with core stability and some stretching to be in shape, just to be in shape. And then when the team said that we start the season in August, so after that I tried to focus on the races that August, September, October will be very full of races. And so in the summer, from June, July, I trained very well, very hard on the road, and I become. It was like a new season, and in the August I arrived well prepared.
Yeah, that's good. And it seems like, to be honest, it seems like most of the peloton did, because all the numbers that people are doing across the board seem to be really, really strong. All the climbing performances, Tour de France records, even Stelvio record in Giro. It seems like, do you think having that like 3 to 4 months off racing, being able to train, no crashes, no transfers, no disruption, back in home, like around your family, comfortable, less pressure, do you think that contributed to everyone maybe going up a higher level, or have you not really seen a difference in level from before and after lockdown?
Everyone, I'm more fresh now, maybe also in the August. It's like a new season, the start of the new season, when everyone fresh and everyone have legs, everyone want to race, want to win. Also because it's a short season, just about 3 months, so everyone want to win as much as possible in this short period. And also I think some of them spend a good time with family, and their head was free without cycling. I know. Without
No,
crazy, no,
I'm not
after
editing that out.
training camps, transfers, a lot of races. So they was more free.
Yeah, true. And like we've seen that with people, maybe a lot of teams where a lot of riders are out of contract. You're not out of contract, but a lot of riders are out of contract. They're just everyone's trying to get some sort of race results. Even the fight to get in the breakaway as hard as ever, with people just trying to show themselves. But I know I've taken up a lot of your time, Aleksandr. Let people know, or maybe you don't want to let people know. I've already picked out a stage for you in the Vuelta that I think you're going to come top 3 in. I think stage 8 you're going to do well in. But what stage should we be looking out for in the Vuelta that you think you could do pretty well on in the remaining 2 weeks?
I want to try Angliru. I want to stay with. I want to stay. Yeah, I want to stay with the best climbers on the Angliru, and I will see my feelings, because it's a long and very, very hard climb, really hard. So I will try to arrive in the top 10 with the best climbers, with Roglic, Carapaz. So if I arrive with them, it means that I'm a really strong climber.
All right, well, Angliru, we're going to be looking out for you there. I know, thank you for bearing with me. I know my Australian accent is, like, a lot of people don't understand me that well. With my thick accent, you speak English better than I do, just about. But thanks for joining, Aleksandr. Any last words for the Lanterne Rouge cycling fans? They can find you. You got Instagram as well. I know you post on Instagram. I'll put that down below. But yeah, any last words for people?
No, I want to say thank you for for all people who look Vuelta now, and maybe I and my team, we will fight the last 2 weeks of the Vuelta, and try to come back in the top 10 in the GC maybe.